All right. Turn it down a little bit. All right, we are live. Yo, 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 what is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless one of the man, Liquid Clay, coming back at you with another live stream. It's been a few days. Hope everybody's having a good day today. J-Dog, what's going on? Thanks for popping in. You said you bought that Blood and Truth yesterday. Your son loved it. You haven't played it yet. It's a very good game. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I absolutely loved it. So, excuse me. Let me see before we get into it. And shout out to the Round Table. They had a podcast yesterday with Mooch on there. You know, that was one of the Crap Gamers boys. I don't know if they still cool like that or not, but it was a pretty good podcast. So there's a few things I want to talk about, but I'm going to try to keep this under an hour because I got a lot of stuff to do. I got laundry to do, stuff to do to get ready for work, and I want to try to get some gaming in. Most notably, I want to try to catch up on some of my backlog. With that being said, give me a second, folks. I need to grab my phone here. Okay, I had to grab my phone so I can read this article. Starting with the lead topic of this podcast. And that is that Phil Spencer has visited Camouflage Studio, the developer of Ironman VR, on several occasions, and he has played Ironman VR. Yes, that same Phil Spencer that said no one's asking for VR. So, if no one's asking for VR, I wonder what prompted him to make several visits there. But I posted this on Twitter, and it got a little bit of traction. So let me pull that article up and read it. I wasn't really able to read it because I posted it from work. So, wow, got 34 likes. Not that many, not a terrible amount of likes, but 13 retweets. That's a lot. So, let me change glasses here so I can read this article. Okay. Xbox boss snuck in to see Ironman VR during development. Let's see here. We finally got our hands on Ironman VR last week, but Xbox boss Phil Spencer got to see the game even earlier. Over the weekend, Spencer took to Twitter to reveal that developer Camouflage had brought Spencer to its studios on numerous occasions to play the game over the course of the development. It's notable given that Ironman VR is a PSVR exclusive published by Xbox rival PlayStation itself. Here's a quote. I was lucky to have Ryan Payton sneak me in a couple of times to see the team and play Bills during the development. Really proud of a local studio launching an impressive game. Well done, Camouflage. In his tweet, Spencer noticed that he was really proud of a local studio launching an impressive game. Now, before we all read too much into Spencer's not-so-secretive trips and what they might mean for Xbox VR, it's important to remember Camouflage was founded by Ryan Payton, who worked on Halo 4 before its release in 2012. It's very likely these trips were based on that friendship rather than Spencer's desire to research VR on Xbox. Spencer was also lucky enough to see Half-Life Alyx ahead of release, but even after that experience insisted that VR was not a focus for its next generation consoles, headlined by Xbox One Series X In February, he confirmed Xbox Series X would not support VR at launch. He didn't say at all. He said at launch. Still, we can but holding out hope. Last month, Microsoft announced a partnership with Facebook after ditching Mixer game streaming, which might lay the foundation for VR support to come. At least we can agree with Spencer that Ironman VR is indeed an impressive game. We gave the experience 4 out of 5 in our review, praising the game's consoles and story. Even if some technical hiccups hold it back from beginning, a true must play. Okay. So yeah, somebody when I posted that tweet, somebody mentioned that Ryan Payton worked on Halo before, so they were doing a little bit of damage controlling. But if somebody wants to try to make something out of him being friends with Ryan Payton and say don't read too much into that or whatever the case may be, what do you make of him? What do people make out of him going to see Half-Life Alyx when that was in development? So I think it's still possible that Microsoft could get on board with VR. But I guess I don't want to keep trying to beat that drum, because the first things everybody's going to come out of everybody's mouth is Microsoft's not going to do it, blah, blah, blah. I mean, because, I hate to admit it, some of my VR brothers and sisters, I think they kind of carry a standpoint that since Microsoft didn't get involved with VR from the beginning, they can't do it now, because if and when they do get on board with VR, they're going to be behind. They're going to be behind Oculus and Sony, and they're going to have such a head start that they won't be able to catch up. But I mean, they won't have to if they got a partnership in place with Oculus or Facebook. I've said it before. Flip the switch. And me saying that, I think that's been coined a couple of times by other YouTubers. When it comes to Oculus and Facebook, when it comes to Microsoft in VR, people say flip the switch. But in any case, but no, I'm not gonna read too much into that right now. I still believe that it's possible that Microsoft and Facebook could do something, but we'll see. So I just wanted to point out that, how funny is that he claims that nobody's asking for VR, but yet he's, going to see Half-Life Alyx as well as Ironman VR in development. So I thought that'd be pretty funny. So, excuse me. So that's that. And I guess while we're on the subject of Iron Man, I'm going to give my quick thoughts on the game. I'm 4 hours into the game. I'm on chapter 3. You would probably feel like that's too early for me to give thoughts on the game, which under normal circumstances it is. But given what I've played so far, I can give a first impressions. This was a game that I was definitely looking forward to. This is a game that I thought would be the PlayStation VR title where I would tell people you've got to get a PlayStation VR. I thought this would be that game. Along with Blood and Truth and Firewall, because I do think Blood and Truth and Firewall, those two games combined, and Astrobot, I think those games, those titles are still good enough to encourage someone to buy a PlayStation VR. But this game right here, it's got great graphics, as you can see by this trailer right here. It has great graphics. Flying is fun in the weapons, and I definitely like the weapons. You got your repulsors. You got, right now I've got wrist missiles in the Unibeam. There's other upgrades, but you have to complete challenges and complete missions to gain points in order to upgrade the armor. So the story the story's not original. I've said that a few days ago. I mean, when it comes to Iron Man, what do we know? It's kind of the same story. Tony Stark is the head of Stark Industries. He's basically, sells weapons to the government, most notably Shield. And every time some kind of Iron Man story comes up, it usually involves Tony not wanting to sell weapons anymore for whatever reason. Someone gets a hold of his weapons and tries to use those weapons against him, and then he has to suit up and take on whoever is trying to use those weapons against him. Here, this is the same story. He's retired from Stark Industries. He's retired from selling and making weapons. Someone got a hold of his combat drones, and they're trying to use those combat drones to destroy his buildings all over the world. And so naturally, you got to suit up and become Iron Man to stop this. So while the story is not original, it's not a bad story. It's just nothing that I've never heard before when it comes to comic books. Just like the Incredible Hulk. Got a damn fruit fly flying in front of me all the damn time, so please excuse me when you see me swatting like this. Just like the Incredible Hulk, every single time there's some kind of Incredible Hulk movie, whether it's cartoon or real life, the story always revolves around Bruce Banner trying to find a cure to no longer become the Hulk. It's a story we heard 1,000 times, so so whenever somebody makes a Hulk movie, the story is nothing that we never heard before. With the Batman movies, it seems like they can't ever make the Batman saga move forward. It's always, every single movie that seems to come out always has to trace back to its origins. And it's almost like these movie studios feel like they have to retell the story because the previous movie missed something. So going off the tracks a little bit, but I'm just making a point that, what our most common superheroes, we know their story, and nobody can really seem to come up with an original story whenever a new superhero movie comes out. And this is no different. So again, the story isn't bad, but it's not original. But as far as good things to say, I think that's about where it ends. It's a point and click game, which that part doesn't bother me because Blood and Truth is a point and click game. That part doesn't bother me. I guess what is bothering me is that it seems like all the fighting in this game takes place in the air and you're just shooting down drones, as you'll see in this trailer. If they they'll show it. Just so yeah, those combat drones. This is basically what you're doing whenever you do any fighting. That's what it is. You're in the air shooting down combat drones. So to put it simply, right now, the way this game is looking, it is looking like a wave shooter with a Marvel Comics coat of paint. And when it comes to VR, we are so far beyond wave shooters. I mean, wave shooters are primitive these days as far as VR goes. If you like VR, that's fine. Some people still like wave shooters. So at this moment right now, if you like Marvel Comics and you like wave shooters, and you want the thrill of being Iron Man and being able to fly, then yeah, I can recommend this game for you. But if you don't like repetitiveness, then I'm not so sure. I can recommend the game for you. I'm going to keep trying to plug away at this game because I don't want my thoughts to be just on those 3 chapters that I played so far. I'm going to keep plugging away at it, but based on this game being basically a repetitive wave shooter, just like Gamertag said, I won't be playing this game in long bursts. I'll probably be playing this game half-hour, 45-minute intervals. So with that being said, as far as streams goes, I'm probably done streaming this game. At this point now, I'm just ready to get through the story so I can give my final thoughts on the game. So that's what I got there. Let's move on to the next one. Oops. Oh my God. Y'all lost me. There we go. Jeez. I don't know how I did that. But anyway, so, it's not hard to figure out. This is the Grand Theft Auto trailer. As you guys know, that I think on the PlayStation Future of Gaming stream that they did a couple of weeks ago, they led off with basically announcing some kind of, basically that Grand Theft Auto 5 will be coming to next gen consoles, and I think they said something that the PlayStation 5 version of Grand Theft Auto 5 will have features that other versions won't have. So, with that being said, I believe it is a studio called Video Deluxe. This is the studio that developed the Rockstar game LA Noire VR case files. They announced today or yesterday that they are about to begin development of a AAA open world VR title for Rockstar. So that has a lot of people speculating on what it could be. Some people have speculated that it might be a totally new title. Some people have speculated that it could be a sequel to LA Noire. Some people have speculated that it could be a port of Red Dead Redemption 2. And some people think that it could be a Grand Theft Auto 5 VR port. I personally think it is going to be a Grand Theft Auto VR port for a number of reasons. Let's start with the VR mod that's out right now on PC. Someone created a mod that allows you to play Grand Theft Auto in VR on PC right now. You have to use a like a standard console controller, whether it's a PlayStation controller or an Xbox controller, but you can play the campaign in VR. Now, I found it to be a coincidence that, and I've said this before, the person who created this mod, right when he created this mod, what a coincidence, Grand Theft Auto was on sale on Steam for $15. A few months later, the person that created the mod updated the mod. He eliminated the black frame during cutscenes to make the cutscenes look a little more immersive. And lo and behold, Grand Theft Auto 5 goes on sale again on Steam again. So, being that the game went on sale twice during these pivotal moves with the VR mod, Rockstar is definitely surveying the VR landscape. I've said that before. So, so that's one reason why I would think that the open world VR title, the Video Deluxe, might be working on as a Grand Theft Auto 5 VR port. That's one of the reasons. The other reason why I think that is Rockstar, to me, they're not a company that's going to take a lot of chances. They're still monetizing the shit out of Grand Theft Auto to this day. And I mean, the game is still doing so good that, in my opinion, if they didn't want to, they didn't even have to come out with Red Dead Redemption 2. They could have kept riding the wave off of Grand Theft Auto 5. And they still are. But if you're going to venture into something and you're not 100% sure how it's going to be received, you put your best foot forward. I can't see them making a move like this, especially for it to be featured on the PS5. I can't see them making a move like this with one of their lesser titles like Bully or even the Red Dead Redemption. So I think Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to be the VR port. So what I don't know is assuming that that's the game they're going to port over to the PS5. What I don't know is whether they're going to allow you to use some sort of move controllers or whatever controllers might be out at the time, assuming PSVR 2 is out, or will you have to use the DualSense controller? So that remains to be seen. So I think that'll be a VR seller, to tell you the truth. I'm sure there'd be a good amount of people that would be curious about playing Grand Theft Auto 5 in VR. I mean, I bought the game and I tried to set up the VR mod, but something didn't work right. So I wasn't able to get it to work. I'll go back and explore it one of these days. I'll get it working one of these days, but I got way too many games right now to make it a priority. So that's that. Moving on to the final topic that I want to talk about. Oh my God. There we go. This is Phantom Covert Ops. This is a video that I grabbed from Upload VR. This is split screen between the Rift S with high-end graphic settings, as you see, and the Oculus Quest. Right now, you wouldn't really be able to tell a tremendous difference in the graphics, but you do notice the lighting on the Rift S. So, when the door opens to let you out of the helicopter, that's where you're going to see the biggest difference. The trees and stuff is the biggest difference. But the biggest reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I did finish the game and I wanted to give my thoughts on it. I thoroughly enjoyed the game. Naturally, it's a game about stealth, and there's two ways you can go about completing your mission. Stealthy, which is the preferred method. You get more points for staying quiet and not creating a ruckus, or you can go out guns blazing. Now, watch this once this kayak comes out of the helicopter. Look at the leaves and stuff on the right. They're blowing all over the place from the helicopter. The leaves are blowing all over the place. The trees have leaves on them, but if you look at the Quest version, there's no leaves on the trees. It looks like something out of a Halloween scene. George Simmons bought the game last week. Only finished the first level. I'm going back in. I think it is a great game. Look what I was saying right there. Look at the trees on the Quest version. No leaves, but look at the Rift version. Leaves all over the trees. Better lighting on the rocks. The water is reflective. There's moss all over the water. The lighting is pretty good. So, but in a nutshell, with Phantom Covert Ops, I thoroughly enjoyed the game. I don't think I played it on the normal setting, so the game wasn't too hard, but it wasn't terribly easy either. And I tried to be stealthy. You got your necessary items. You have your pistol with a suppressor on it. You have your sniper rifle with a suppressor on it. You have your night vision binoculars. And you also have a light machine gun in case shit goes sideways. So I like that part of it. So you want to try to stay quiet. But in the event that you get detected, then this just balls out. You just basically pull your automatic weapon from behind and just start spraying everywhere. But if you can help it, you want to stay quiet. Now, as far as the helicopters and gunboats that's on patrol, if they spot you, that's it. You are dead. You just cannot fight them. So, but this is definitely a game that I would recommend. And then the other thing that I like about the game is once you complete the game, you can go back and play the missions individually, which I plan to do because I want to try to, take on some of the challenges. And some of my YouTube friends, I saw their scores and I want to try to beat their scores. So I will go back and monkey around with this game a little bit. And then as far as the story goes, Um, what I can tell you about the story without spoiling it is basically this facility. Did I earn the crossbow? No, I didn't, golfer. What I can tell you about this story is this facility was run by a Russian terrorist group, and in 1966, NATO launched the airstrike against this facility and damn near submerged it. That's why you're in a kayak, because the buildings, they flooded it when they bombed the building. So it looks like a new terrorist group is emerging, and your mission is to get in there, find out whatever information you can, and get out. So I can tell you that much without spoiling it. And I would say the way this game ended, it has to be a sequel. I definitely want a sequel for this game, and I do believe that this is a game that we could see on PlayStation VR next year. I say that because if you can get this game to run on the Quest, I think you can get it to run on anything. And the way the Move controllers are, the Move controllers won't have any bearing on this game. This isn't a game that requires you to have thumbsticks to move around. So they could definitely. Oh, yeah, this is a video from Upload VR. But this is definitely a game that could be ported over to the PlayStation VR. And I think this game would be well received over on the PlayStation VR because as of right now, in my opinion, they don't have that Metal Gear or that Splinter Cell type game in VR. So I definitely think this game would be well received on the PlayStation VR. Great Tantrum. I might buy Covert Ops next month. So many PC VR games out there. Yeah, July is definitely a busy month for VR. What's the date today? Today is July 7th. I think the next big thing we got coming up as far as July goes, I think July 16th, we've got Five Nights at Freddy's coming to the Oculus Quest. I think July 18th, I'm not sure, but I think we got Pistol Whip coming to PlayStation VR. I think July 22nd, we have the VR support for Dreams. July 30th, we have Onward officially releasing at the Quest store. And I think that's going to be well received too because even though Contractors and Pavlov is in beta and you can play it that way, Onward will be an official release. So people will buy it. Fatal Charade, how's it going? Fatal Charade, how goes the headset hunting? Now, in the case of Contractors, I think the beta is over. I think this game is getting ready to. I think they're going to get ready to give us a release date on when the game is officially coming to the Oculus Quest store because I went in for the last 4 days. I have tried to play this game. And it keeps saying no servers found. So when I try to create my own game, it won't let me create my own game. So I think this game, unless there's some server issues that's been going on for a few days, I think this game is out of beta and getting ready to get an official release date at the Oculus Quest store. So that'll be good too. So with that being said, I think that's all I got. No, that went a lot sooner than that went a lot faster than I thought. Best Buy has the Quest available. So have you made up your mind which one you want? Do you want the Rift S or do you want the Quest? I mean, because either one has its advantages. Great Tantrum. Pavlov versus Onwards versus Contractors. See, I can't answer that question fairly because I played Onwards and Contractors, and I like Contractors a little bit better in terms of the gameplay. But Pavlov is a little more gory, because you can blow somebody's head clean off and the helmet to go flying off and stuff like that on Pavlov. But Onward, I can't really judge that game because I have that game, but total time played, I don't think I've got more than 45 minutes into that game. I've tried it a couple of times and just, I think Onward is definitely slower. I think out of those three games, Onward is the slowest because I think it's the most tactical out of the three. And I think in the case of Onward, at the time that I played it, even though it was the most tactical and the most slowest out of the three, it also had the smallest user base. It was really hard to find a match. But now that the game is officially releasing at the Oculus Quest store, it's going to be cross-play with PC. So the game will have a community. It will have a user base. So I will definitely look to revisit this game pretty soon. Fatal Charade, the decision was made for me. I'm going with the Quest. And again, the advantage of the Quest is that it is a standalone headset that you can take with you anywhere. And also, the cord that comes with the Quest, you can also use that like a link cable and plug the Quest up into your PC, and it basically becomes a Rift. And then here's the best part about it. A lot of the games at the Oculus store are cross-buy. So what'll happen is like this game here, Phantom Covert Ops, is cross-buy. So if you buy it for the Quest, you'll also get it for the Rift S. So for what that means for you, Fatal Charade, is when you plug your Quest into the PC, you will be playing the Rift version of the game. When you disconnect it from the PC and take it with you, you'll be playing the Quest version. So not only is the game like Phantom Covert Ops, not only is it cross-buy, it's also cross-save. So you can jump back and forth between the Quest and the Rift S and not lose your progress. So I absolutely love that too. So you're gonna go with the Quest. When do you plan on getting it? While I wait for your answer, I will take a quick second here. Will I have to rebuy Beat Saber? Unfortunately, actually, yes and no. You're shooting for tomorrow? So if you already bought Beat Saber, wherever you bought it at, you can still play it there. What I mean by that is, if you bought it from Steam, you can still connect your Quest to the PC and still play it from Steam. If you bought it from the Oculus store, you can plug your same deal. You can plug your Quest into the PC and play it from the Oculus app. Now, the game is not cross-buy. So if you disconnect Beat Saber and take the headset with you, no, you won't be able to play it because you didn't buy the Quest version. Beat Saber is one of the games where they're not doing the crossplay. So you won't. The only way you'll have to buy Beat Saber again is if you want to take it with you on the go. Then, and buy the Quest version of the game. That's the only way you'll have to buy it again. But other than that, like if you already bought it at the Oculus store or you already bought it at Steam, you won't have to buy it again as long as you use the same account that you bought it on. Now, if you go off and create a brand new account, once you get everything set up, then yeah, you will have to buy it again because you created a different account. You said you're shooting for tomorrow? Hey, yo, the other thing, Fatal Charade, you get this thing tomorrow, you gotta do an unboxing video. Because that is obligatory. That is kind of the unwritten rule with the Oculus Quest, or almost any VR headset for that matter. You have to do an unboxing video. Does it still come with Robo Recall? I believe so. So let's put it this way. The Quest version, yes, I do believe the Quest version is free. So here's the deal. You created, like, all the games, let's put it this way. All the games that you had when you were playing them on the Oculus Rift, you still have those games. Because once you connect that Quest to the PC, it becomes a Rift. So you'll still have all those games. But as far as Robo Recall goes, once you buy this Quest, you should have both versions of it, because I believe the Quest version of it is free also. So when you take that Quest with you on the go, you'll be able to play the Quest version, you know, when you take it with you. So that's the bottom line. When you get this thing all set up, use the account that you have been using. If you create a new account, then you're going to have to buy those games all over again. So use the account that you've been using. So that way, any games that you already purchased or any games that you already own, you won't lose them. Now, as far as me, going back to this Iron Man thing, given how I feel about the game, since I'm not like in a big hurry to try to finish the game, being that I'm starting to get a little disinterested with the game, I'm probably gonna go back and start playing some other stuff. Start trying to dip into my backlog. I might even do some more Valkyrie streams, because that was actually pretty fun. Great Tantrum. Been enjoying Half-Life Alex with my Rift S. You said all my VR games are on Steam. No big deal. So, but I know the Robo Recall, that is an Oculus exclusive. So I know that, you got an Oculus account and a Steam account. So, no, you won't lose those games. So the bottom line is, once you plug that Quest, what's going to happen is when you plug that Quest into your PC, when you look, you're going to get a message inside the headset, basically asking you for permission to go ahead and link the headset to the PC. Once you do that, you're going to see the Oculus Rift home. And then, it's like I said, you basically are on the Rift at that point. So it's almost 7:30 here, so I'm going to have to get ready to wrap it up here pretty soon, because I still got a lot of stuff to do. Still got some laundry to do, get all my stuff together for work tomorrow, and try to get some gaming in before the night's over. So I'll try to get all that stuff done in a timely manner and try to stream something. Great Tantrum. Should I have AWS on or auto or off? Please excuse me being stuck on stupid, Great Tantrum, but you want to elaborate on the AWS? So I'm terribly sorry about that. Goddamn fruit flies driving me crazy. Asynchronous space warp is. I have no idea what that is. If that's a game, I have no idea what it is, because you know these VR games come out a mile a minute. I might even start my farewell tour on GT Sport. I originally thought that, well, not originally thought, I was hoping that GT7 would be a launch title for the PS5. It smooths out frame rates if the system cannot push high frame rates. Oh, that's a program I have no idea about that. I mean, I guess I resolved my issues by putting a new processor in my PC, so it runs smoother now. So I really can't, you would know what to do with that better than I would as far as this space warp thing you're talking about. Coming back to the GT Sport thing, I originally thought GT7 might be a launch title for the PS5. Hopefully we'll hear something from Sony before long. And I think the way people are speculating that if GT7 isn't a launch title for the PS5, people are speculating that there will be an update for GT Sport that will give full VR support. Because from what I understand, the PlayStation Pro can do full VR support on Gran Turismo Sport. But Sony pretty much mandated that the experience has to be the same on both consoles. It's a feature in the Oculus debug tool. Oh, no kidding. I might have to take a look into that. So there's a feature in the Oculus debug tool. I might have to take a look at that. So, but I guess this possible GT Sports situation is a win-win. If GT7 launches with the PS5 day and date, great. If it doesn't, and they give us that full VR support update for GT Sport, that's great too. So, but yeah, it's been close to an hour. Yeah, let me get at it so I can get everything I got to get done. And like I said, if I get it done at a decent hour, then I'll come back and do some kind of game stream. I just haven't figured out what I'm going to stream yet. And we will go from there. With that being said, I'm getting ready to boogie on out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Fatal Charade. I hope you get that Oculus Quest tomorrow. I think you would have been best to go ahead and order it so you can secure it. I hope you get it tomorrow. And again, if you get it, you owe us the obligatory unboxing video. Let's see here. Great Tantrum. If GT7 gets full VR support, it's a wrap. Well, that's a given. The GT Sport, in my opinion, that's a given. The GT7 is going to have full VR support. What I'm wondering is, if the game doesn't launch day and date with the console, I guess the rumor is that they would basically do a VR update for GT Sport, so we would still have full VR support. But that's for PS5 people. That's not for PS4 or PS4 Pro people. Now, One down. That's one fly down. He paid the price. So now I'm going to go ahead and boogie on out of here. Like I said, let me do what I got to do, and I'll try to come back. So thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. I'm out of here, y'all.